Hello, this is Colton and Summit, and today we're presenting our customer segmentation analysis project for ISBA-360. In this project, our main goal was to use real-world customer data to better understand spending behavior and identify meaningful groups of customers that businesses can use to improve their decision making. As we go through this presentation, we're going to walk you through the problems we identified, the data we used, and analysis we performed, and most importantly, what results actually mean for businesses and how they can use these results.
The main problem we're addressing in this project is that businesses often do not fully understand their customers. Due to this, they tend to apply the same marketing strategies to everyone, even though the customers can be very different from each other. For example, a company might advertise expensive luxury products to someone who cannot afford them, which results in wasted marketing effort. On the other hand, they might offer discounts to customers who are already planning to make a purchase, which reduces profit unnecessarily. Overall, this leads to inefficiency, wasted money, and missed opportunities. Because of this, our goal is to determine whether customers can be grouped into meaningful segments based on income, household structure, and spending behavior.
Why this matters. This problem is important because customer segmentation is widely used in real businesses to improve decision making. Companies you definitely know, such as Kroger and Target, use customer data to personalize recommendations and better target their marketing efforts. When businesses have a stronger understanding of their customers, they're able to increase sales, improve customer engagement, and allocate their resources more effectively. For example, they can identify high-value customers and focus on keeping them engaged, while also creating different strategies for lower-spending customers. Overall, segmentation allows businesses to move away from a one-size-fits-all approach and instead make more strategic and data-driven decisions.
For this project, we used a dataset from Kaggle that includes 2,240 customers and 29 variables. The dataset contains a mix of demographic information such as income and age, along with detailed spending behaviors across different product categories. This is important because it allows us to understand both who the customers are and how they behave when making purchases. Having both types of information is essential for segmentation because it allows us to connect customer characteristics with their spending habits.
Looking at our key variables, in our analysis, we focused on several key variables that we believed would have the greatest impact on customer behavior. Income is one of the most important variables because it represents a customer's financial ability to spend. We also looked at kid home and teen home, which represents household structure, since families with many children have different financial priorities compared to individuals without children. In addition to this, we also included multiple spending variables such as wine, fruits, and meat products to better understand purchasing behavior across different categories. Finally, we included recency, which measures how recently a customer made a purchase. This helped capture how active each customer is. Together, these variables give us a strong understanding of differences in customer behavior.
Before performing any analysis, we first prepared the data to ensure accuracy. We checked for missing values across all of the variables and found that only the income variable had missing data. To handle this, we replaced the missing income values with the mean income, which is the same method we used in our class labs. This step is important because missing data can negatively impact the results of our model. By cleaning and preparing the data properly, we ensure that our analysis is both reliable and accurate.
Now, moving on to our methodology, for our main analysis, we used k-means clustering. K-means is a method that groups customers based on similarities in their data. Unlike models that predict an outcome, clustering identifies natural patterns within the dataset. This means that instead of telling the model what to look for, we allow the data to form groups on its own. By doing this, we can uncover patterns that might not be obvious at first glance. This approach helps us better understand how customers naturally segment based on their behavior and characteristics.
To determine how many clusters to use, we applied the elbow method. This method involves testing different numbers of clusters and measuring how well the model fits the data. When we plotted the results, we observed a sharp drop in error from 1 cluster to 3 clusters, and after that point, the improvement began to level off. This pattern indicates that adding more clusters beyond 3 dots does not significantly improve the model. Based on this, we determined that 3 clusters is the optimal number for our analysis.
Looking at cluster results, after running the model, each customer in the dataset was assigned to one of the 3 clusters. These clusters are based on similarities in income and spending behavior. This allows us to move beyond looking at individual data points and instead focus on patterns across groups of customers. By analyzing these clusters, we can better understand how different types of customers behave.
From our results, we identified 3 main customer segments. The first group, Cluster 2, represents high-value customers. These customers tend to have higher incomes and higher spending levels, especially on products like wine. The second group, Cluster 1, represents medium-value customers with moderate income and moderate spending. The third group, Cluster 0, represents lower-value customers who generally have lower incomes and spend less overall. These differences clearly show that customers do not behave the same and that income and household structure play a major role in shaping spending behavior.
From our clustering and analysis, we identified several key insights that help explain customer behavior. The first and most important insight is that income has a strong positive relationship with spending. As income increases, spending also tends to increase. This pattern was very clear in both the clustering results and the correlation analysis. Higher income customers consistently appeared in higher spending clusters. This makes sense because customers with more financial resources have a greater ability to purchase both essential and non-essential products. From a business perspective, this highlights the importance of identifying and targeting high-income customers, as they are more likely to generate higher revenue. The second insight is that households with more children tend to spend less. This was shown through the negative relationship between kid home and spending. One possible explanation for this is that families with children often have more financial responsibilities, such as childcare, education, and everyday expenses. Due to this, they may spend less money on discretionary products like wine and specialty items. This insight is important because it shows that household structure directly impacts spending behavior, and businesses need to consider this when designing marketing strategies. The third insight is that the presence of teenagers in a household has a weaker impact on spending behavior. While teen home does show a negative relationship with spending, the effect is not as strong with younger children. This suggests that having teenagers in the home does not influence purchasing behavior as much as income or younger children. This is useful because it helps businesses understand which variables matter most and which ones are less impactful. Another important insight is that recency was not a strong predictor of spending in this dataset. This means that how recently a customer made a purchase did not strongly explain how much they spend. While recency is often used in marketing, in this case, it did not play a major role in distinguishing customer segments. Finally, one of the most important takeaways is that these insights are consistent across multiple methods. We observe these patterns in clustering and then confirm them using correlation analysis. This consistency is important because it increases confidence in our results. It shows that the patterns we are seeing are not random, but are actually meaningful relationships within the data. Overall, these insights help explain what drives customer behavior and provides a clear foundation for making better business decisions.
To support our findings, we also performed a correlation analysis. The results of this analysis align with what we observed in our clustering. Income shows a positive relationship with spending, meaning that as income increases, spending tends to increase as well. Kid home shows a negative relationship with spending, indicating that households with more children tend to spend less. Teen home also shows a negative relationship, but the effect is weaker. Overall, this confirms that our clustering results are consistent with the underlying relationships in the data.
Looking at business impact, these findings have important business implications because they show that not all customers should be treated the same. One of the biggest mistakes a business can make is assuming that every customer responds to the same type of marketing. Our analysis shows that customers fall into different groups, and each group likely needs a different strategy. For example, the high value customer group has higher income and higher spending. These customers may be more likely to respond to premium products, exclusive offers, loyalty rewards, or personalized recommendations. A business would not necessarily need to give this group huge discounts because they already have the ability and willingness to spend. Instead, the business could focus on increasing loyalty, promoting higher end products, or recommending products that match their past behavior. The lower value customer group would need a different approach. These customers may have lower income or lower spending levels, so premium marketing may not work as well. For this group, a business might focus on discounts, bundles, coupons, or budget-friendly products. For example, instead of advertising expensive wine or high-end specialty items, the business could promote affordable deals or family-based savings. The family-related variables are also important. Since households with more children generally spend less, businesses could create campaigns that better fit family priorities. Families may be more concerned with the value, convenience, and necessities. A business could target these customers with promotions like buy more and save, meal bundles, family size discounts, or loyalty points on everyday products. This also improves marketing efficiency. Instead of spending the same amount of money on advertising the same message to everyone, a business can divide customers into segments and customize the message. This reduces wasted marketing money because each group receives offers that are likely to fit their needs. Overall, the business impact in this customer segmentation helps companies make smaller decisions. It helps them understand who their best customers are, who needs more encouragement to spend, and how to target different groups in a different way that makes sense.
Results, the solution is for businesses to use customer segmentation as part of their decision-making process. Instead of using one general marketing strategy for all customers, businesses should separate customers into groups and create different strategies for each group. For the high-value customer segment, the business should focus on premium marketing. These customers have higher income and higher spending, so they may be interested in higher quality products, exclusive promotions, or personalized product recommendations. For example, if a customer already spends a lot on wine, the company could recommend premium wine products, wine bundles, or loyalty reward connected to wine purchases. For the medium value customer segment, the business should focus on increasing engagement. These customers are already spending at a moderate level, so the goal should be to move them closer to a high value group. A business could do this through targeted promotions, product recommendations, or loyalty incentives. For example, a customer who buys some wine or meat products could receive a small discount, encouraging them to purchase more often. For the lower value customer segment, the business should focus on affordability and value. These customers may not respond well to expensive product recommendations. Instead, they may respond better to coupons, discounts, lower cost product bundles, or family focused deals. This would help increase engagement without pushing products that do not match their spending behavior. Another part of the solution is using household structure and marketing. Since Kid Home showed a negative relationship with spending, businesses should recognize that families with children may need different messaging. These customers may care more about price, convenience, and practical value. A business could use this information to promote family deals, weekly savings, or budget-friendly product options. The main point is that segmentation allows businesses to stop guessing. Instead of assuming what customers want, they can use data to create smarter strategies. This can improve customer engagement, reduce wasted marketing cost, and increased overall sales.
In conclusion, our analysis shows that customers do not all behave the same. There are clear differences in spending behaviors based on income and household structure. By using K-mean clustering, we were able to group customers into three meaningful segments: high-value customers, medium-value customers, and lower-value customers. The biggest finding from our project is that income has a strong relationship with spending. High-income customers tend to spend more across product categories, especially in wine. This makes sense for a business perspective because customers with more financial ability are often more willing to spend on premium or non-essential products. Another important finding is that households with more children generally spend less. This likely happens because families with children may have different financial priorities. Instead of spending more on products like wine, they may focus more on necessities or budget-friendly purchases. This is useful for businesses because it shows that family-based customers need a different marketing approach. We also found that Teen Home had a weaker relationship with spending. This means that having teenagers in the home did not influence spending as strongly as income or younger children. Recency was also not a strong predictor of spending. This means how recently someone purchased something did not explain spending behavior as much as other variables. This is something that is a lot of times assumed has a major effect and can honestly tear apart marketing campaigns as it's wrong. Overall, the project shows that customer segmentation can help businesses make better decisions. Instead of treating every customer the same, companies can use data to identify different customer groups and create strategies that match each group's behavior. This can help businesses increase sales, improve marketing efficiency, and better understand their customers. So, our final takeaway is that data-driven segmentation gives businesses a practical way to turn raw customer data into useful business strategies. It helps answer the original problem by showing that customers can be grouped into meaningful segments, and those segments can be used to guide smarter marketing decisions.
Both Colton and I worked collaboratively on all aspects of the project, including data cleaning, analysis, model development, and interpretation of results.
Your time and for listening to our presentation on our customer segmentation analysis project for ISBA 360.